Good morning and welcome to Only in Sedona Yoga for your purpose number 1, MSM Flow. If you're enjoying this video series, please help us keep our mission going by hitting like, subscribe, and share. We're going to get started with our dynamic stretch proprioceptive warm-up here. If you want to close your eyes and feel your body moving side to side through space, moving through all planes of motion, letting your body flow, feeling the way you move through space while you get that synovial fluid flowing to your joints, getting you nice and warm and ready to stretch. Let's just heel toe those feet in just a little bit so you're a little wider than hips distance apart. Go into some squats with some nice big circles here. Again, if you want to close your eyes, I will cue you to feel your body moving through space. If you have any kind of nerve injuries, it really helps you to feel how your body moves through space as we warm you up here for our stretches. Pay attention to your breath here also, yogi. Starting to draw that attention inward. This is your 30 minutes to get into your body. Focus on your nurturing, your healing, and your health. Everything you need. Strength, conditioning, flexibility, and of course our meditation for your mind, body, and spirit. And let's take this into some Tai Chi Twist, nice and gentle, warming up through that spine, moving side to side as we prepare for the vinyasa flow portion. We do that 2 times through. And then we'll take it down for some more restorative style stretches as we relax for our meditation. So let's go, yogis. You should be nice and warm. Come to the front of your mat. Stand tall in your mountain pose. Roll those shoulders back. Invisible string lifting your head up. Your knees are soft. Your pelvic is pelvis is tilted slightly forward. And just take a deep breath. Bring your hands to heart center. And let's set an intention for your practice. Ask yourself now, yogi, what is your purpose here today? Hopefully it's to work on all aspects of your physical and mental health. Inhale. And exhale, and let's begin our flow. Inhale, take a nice deep breath, look up as those palms touch, looking up to that beautiful sky. Exhale as you walk your way down to that first forward fold. Now since it's the first one, I want you to take your time here, take as many breaths as you need to get into it. Sway your body from side to side. You have some options here. You can pendulum from side to side as you let the back of those legs elongate. You can wrap your arms around is another option. You can bring your arms up behind if your shoulders are needing love. You can hook your toes if that's possible, but if you're holding on here, that's okay too. Work at your level. And just give me one more nice deep breath in your forward fold here, yogis. And exhale. Inhale, come to a nice flat spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your way back to a nice straight plank position. Nice straight line from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. And since this is our purpose one flow, if you like, go ahead and bring your knees down to chaturanga as you shoot those shoulders just a bit over your elbow. And then take the Sphinx or Cobra or Up Dog variation that works for your low back today. So you might be here in Sphinx. You might decide to plant your palms and lift up to a Cobra. You might decide to plant your palms and lift all the way up to an Up Dog with your knees coming off the mat. Take any variation you want. I'm going to take Cobra and just take a second to look over each shoulder here. Again, taking as many breaths as you want as we learn this flow the first time. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back up to all fours. Tuck those toes. Come into your first downward facing dog of the day. And here too, we're going to take a second to deepen, bend your knees, lift that fanny a little higher, and then straighten the legs to get that beautiful V shape. And then just pedal those feet. Alternating one heel down, and then the opposite heel. You can look underneath the armpits, letting the head go from side to side. And if you're feeling any neck tension, you can shake it out. And when you're ready, lift on both toes. Plant that down dog and just take one nice deep breath here. And exhale it out. And your next inhale takes you to a down dog split. Pull that leg through. You have the option here, yogi, to use your hand to press that foot a little forward. Turn this back foot. Lift yourself up into a beautiful warrior one. Take a nice deep breath here, yogi. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to inhale at the top before flowing into a beautiful side angle. I'm going to show you a few options here. One is just bring your elbow down. Just come here like this. If you have some blocks with you and you want to take a block to go a little lower, you have that option too. Choose the option that works for you today, beautiful yogi. Inhale here. And your next exhale is going to take you down to a nice low lunge. Let that knee continue to fall. And as you inhale on your next breath, bring that back leg up. Reach around with the opposite hand. And come into your archer pose, taking aim at your goal and reaching for it. Breathing into the pose. And release it down. Hands come down. Bring that leg back. Find the full expression of your plank. With an exhale, use the strength of your psoas to lift you up. Inhale here at the top of your down dog. Exhale as you walk it forward, surrendering to that forward fold before scooping yourself up with a big inhale and exhaling your hands to heart center and pausing for a breath before we get that on the other side. Inhale, realign your beautiful posture here, and exhale. Here we go. Inhale, look up as those palms touch. Exhale, take it down to your forward fold. Inhale to your beautiful flat spine. Exhale, walk it back to that plank. Inhale at the top as you gather your strength. Exhale through your chaturanga. And inhaling at the top of cobra or any variation of up dog or sphinx that you would like. Exhale, push it back to all fours, tucking your toes. and pressing into our down dog, where you hold here for a beautiful long deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Your next inhale brings that leg up. Your next exhale brings it through. Use your hand if you need to. Pivot that back foot. Come on up into your beautiful warrior one. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale here at the top. Exhale to your beautiful side angle. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale your way down. Exhale as you reach back and come into that archer pose and pause for a breath. Or you might need several. If you need several breaths here, that's why we do this MSM1, so you learn the flow. So take as many breaths as you really need. Come on back down, yogi. Step back to that plank with an inhale, gather your strength. With an exhale, lift to that down dog. With an inhale, gather your strength again. And as you exhale, walk forward, surrendering. And a big scoop inhale brings you up to the top. Exhaling to that forward fold. We're going to go through that whole flow one time each side. I'll call your breath body movements. No stopping in between. Pause here for a breath. Refocus on your intention. And here we go. Inhale, look up, palms touch. Exhale, surrender, forward fold. Inhale, flat spine. Exhale, step or hop to plank. Any chaturanga you want. Inhaling to that beautiful cobra or up dog. Exhaling as you push through to all fours, curling your toes, and coming up to your down dog, where we pause for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lifts that right leg up, down dog split. Exhale, pulls it through, pivot that back foot. Inhale, come up to a strong warrior one. One breath. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come into your beautiful side angle. One breath. Inhale takes you down. Exhale, reach behind. Come into that beautiful archer pose. One breath. Inhale your way back down. Exhale, push it back. Inhale, gather your strength. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, gather your strength again. Exhale, walk it front. Surrendering forward fold. And rolling it all the way up with a nice deep breath. Inhale. Exhaling to heart center. Pause for a breath. Inhale. And exhale, other side. Inhale, take it up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your flat spine. Exhale, walk it back. Any chaturanga you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Exhaling, pushing it up to all fours, tucking your toes. Coming to downward dog and pausing for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left leg comes up, down dog split. Exhale, pull it through. Pivot that foot. Inhale, come up to warrior one. One breath. Inhale at the top. Exhale, side angle. One breath. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come down through that lunge, reaching back and coming into that archer pose. One breath. Inhale, take sit down. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale, gather your strength. Exhale, push it up. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, walk it forward, yogi. You did it. Surrender to that forward fold. Such a great job. Bring yourself all the way up. Looking as those palms touch. Bringing it down to heart center. Pausing for a congratulatory breath. Inhale. And exhale. Just come forward on your mat now, beautiful yogi. We're going to go down into our Halasana Squat. If you have knee problems, you might want to take some pillows or blocks behind you to lower down. Bring your hands in here. Bring it ever so gently down. And you can just land right on those blocks. If you don't need the blocks, you can just support yourself in your squat. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, take those blocks away. Gently, gently bring yourself down into a seated pose. And we're going to go into some twists here, beautiful yogi. So go ahead, inhale. And exhale, just to kind of slow your breath down. And then take this right leg, cross it over your left, lift up with this arm, and take a nice twist. Now, if your elbow to knee is too much, just hold on here and look behind you this way. Use this arm here as a second spine. If you can get that elbow, go into a nice full twist. We'll hold these slower restorative stretches for 3 to 5 deep breaths, maybe even more depending on your pace of breathing. And what I'd like you to do to start to bring your body down and prepare for that meditation is to start focusing your awareness on that breath, please. So you're inhaling for a 4 count, and you're exhaling for the same amount. Let's switch sides to just uncross that leg, bring it in front. Take the other leg, bring it up on top. Lift that arm up, your other arm forms a second spine, and go into that twist. And let's practice that breathing here, yogi. So just inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Your breath is so vital, and I'm very excited. I want to talk to you more about that. And we're reshooting some of these videos that had some poor sound quality. I wanted to finish filling you in on our whole philosophy behind what we're doing here, so that you know where we're coming from and our mission. Full transparency. And then we can focus more on the technical aspects of yoga. Let's bring this forward. And let's come into a seated forward fold here. So sit nice and tall. I'm going to invite you, if you have a block, you can use it. You might even want to stack 2 if this is hard. You're going to lift your hands up overhead and then walk forward, hinging from your hips. Now, if you can get your hands around your feet, that's fine, but I don't want you to pull. I want you to make this pretty passive. So you're going to let your arms just relax. Like I said, if you want to rest your head on that block, you can do that. You can hold on to the outside of the feet. Wiggle around a little bit. Find a place that you're feeling the stretch, but you're also being really, really passive in it. So yeah, I've talked before about some of the inspiration for this channel. It's really everything I do to heal myself in a short, easy to do, abbreviated form. I wanted to incorporate, first of all, a dynamic stretch warm-up and include some proprioception in there. Feeling how your body moves through space, but also getting your juices flowing so you're ready to stretch so that it's safe for you. And then the vinyasa portion is designed to get you your strength and your cardio without you needing any equipment. This whole thing is designed for bring healing for free to people. So without you needing any equipment, you're getting strength and cardio. Let's come on up here. You can just place that block to the side. We're going to do one of my favorite stretches for the front of the thigh. Go ahead and bring one leg back. And you're going to try to get the top of your foot here to just lay flat against the mat. I'm going to move forward a little bit so I don't end up in the dirt here. And then you're just going to come back. Now, you might already be feeling the stretch right here. And if so, you don't have to come back at all. If you can, start to walk it back. If you have a big wedge-shaped pillow, you might want to put that under your back. If you just have some regular pillows, you might want to use them. But yeah, so the vinyasa is to get you your strength, your cardio. And we do the MSM1 and the MSM2 so that you can choose your mood. If you need it more gentle, or if you need it more vigorous. And again, no equipment was a key. And then also the restorative to work on your flexibility, but also to get your mind ready for that final stretch and that final meditation to start to bring you down. Which I'd really like you to do here, yogis. If you're doing that 4-count breathing, please start inhaling for a 4 count as you are, but start to extend your exhales here. Make them a little longer. The next exhale can be for a 5 count, and then a 6 on the next breath after that, and then a 7 on the next breath after that, until you're exhaling twice as long as you inhale. And let's come up and switch sides very gently here. Beautiful, beautiful yogi. Take that foot out and take the other one back and very gently walk it back and relax into it if you can, or if you're sitting upright, that's fine. And then the guided meditation is the most important part of this workout. Getting a hold of your mind. So many of us don't spend time, and you might be surprised the first time you try to sit in mindful meditation, how long, like just 5 minutes can feel. And that's I started to do in my own meditation practice, the guided versions, to help me get into that introspective space. And it's so vital, because I really firmly believe if people were more mindful and took that time, we'd have fewer problems in our world. But what can I do? Well, I can just try to guide and hope for the best, right? But yeah, this whole program was designed, I wanted it to always be free. free. We'll talk more about that in Purpose 2. Free healing, I wanted to incorporate everything I've learned about fitness over the years and everything I've learned about psychology over the years. Come on up. Coming gently out of that stretch. We're going to finish with one of my favorite moves here, yogis. Come on down however you want, onto your back. Lift those knees into your chest and then just extend them up, legs up the wall, letting that blood flow. And really focus now on your breath, please. Inhaling for a count of 4, and then exhaling for that count of 8 as you prepare for your meditation. If you want to massage out your legs, do a little tapenade, you can. Yes, always free, no equipment. That's a huge part of our mission. Dripping with love. My partner and I were talking about how much love we put into this program and why we're redoing some of these vids with poor sound quality, because we really want to make it good for you guys. That's our purpose. That is our purpose, to bring you free, healing love. And with that, beautiful yogi, please bring your knees in. Wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a gentle, loving hug of appreciation for everything you are and everything you do each day. And then extend, falling into the Savasana pose, or taking whatever final resting posture you like as we prepare for our closing meditation. Namaste. Relax now in your final resting pose, beautiful yogi. Support your body for ultimate comfort so that you can focus your awareness on your internal world. Continue centering your awareness on your breath. And as you breathe, reflect without passing judgment on what you do each and every day. Visualize the people you meet and interact with. What activities do you choose when you have the opportunity to choose them freely? Ask yourself, what ignites passion in your heart? If you are going through a dark night of the soul, it can sometimes feel like the answer to that question is nothing. And sometimes doing nothing is the answer. Sometimes your body and mind need time to heal and to rest. Sometimes that feeling of overwhelm, that everything is just too much, is simply a signal that you have reached your mental and physical limit. Please do not beat yourself up further when these moments strike, beautiful yogi. Accept that it is time for you to stop pushing so hard. It's okay to sometimes do the minimum that you must when the greater goal is giving yourself time to rest and heal. It doesn't matter if what has you feeling temporarily stuck and unable to move forward is physical pain, emotional trauma, or both. Be equally gentle with yourself, beautiful yogi. Your lack of motivation is only a symptom, like a swollen bruise and redness indicate a physical injury. Be your own best physician and prescribe yourself healthy, meaningful rest, remaining every bit as patient with your emotional recovery as you would be gentle to a broken leg that's only just begun to heal. Please know and trust that your passion and your purpose will find you when you are ready. Trust that first, you must create the right conditions, like a farmer preparing her field for planting crops. Nurture your body and mind with gentle movement and healthy foods. Connect with positive people who recognize your inherent worth. Consider your gifts and what you bring to the world, because you do bring so much. You are unique in all of creation. Take a few moments now to simply reflect on that and nurture your divine spark. When you are ready, take that risk and share your gifts with the world. Namaste.